Hiya. Are you still awake? I know it's quite late, but there's something I really want to show you. Surely you can stay up a bit longer and let me in? Thank you so much for letting me in. I get into the nichest of rabbit holes, right? And if I find an interest that I find cool, I'd like to explore it through all its depths. And, well, I've spent all day in my room researching divination stuff. It's nothing weird. It's kind of like stuff that witches would get burned for at the stake for doing them back in the day, But like, it's cool now because like there's a whole community about divination and witchcraft and stuff like that nowadays. Tarot cards and palm reading and that kind of stuff. I mean, no, I didn't just come to bother you just to speak about my special interests. I actually came to put them in practice. I want to put my knowledge I've learned into practice. And the only way I can do that is if I have a subject, So, first of all, I do want to show you a little something special. A real, authentic tarot card set. Huh? Why aren't you impressed? Look, just peep at the casing and stuff. There's indents and there's colors and the smell. Sniff it. Just sniff it. Doesn't it smell like a new car or something? But yeah, it's the same day shipping or something like that. That's how I got hold of it so fast. This is some strong cardboard, I mean, look at the printing. It's vibrant and cool and... No, I didn't just... Like I said before, I didn't just wake you up to show off my cards. Well, I kind of did, but there's also something more. I do want to try to do a reading, maybe, if that's alright with you. I just, sit around in a little circle and with a candle in the middle or something and use the cards to read your future or something. It'll only take a couple minutes. Surely you can stay up a bit longer. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna keep you up all night. No. You don't have to do anything, technically. Like I said, just sit in a circle and I'll read your fortune. It's nothing too complicated on your end. I've always been interested in the occult and ghosts and stuff like that. Real metal stuff, You remember when I showed you that new collar I got? Yeah, it was so cool. I mean, I was basically wearing it the whole day around the house. I remember catching you staring at me sometimes while I was wearing it. You must have thought it was real cool, right? Why were you blushing for? Is it because I look so cool? I'm glad. I work very hard on my image, Just black eyeliner and makeup and the outfits. They don't just magically come on my face, I'm happy you've been listening to all my yapping about my interests. Well, anyway, do you want to sit down and see your future? I think you're supposed to bring a candle and a mat of some sort. So I bought this candle with me to cleanse our energy before we start. Let's sit in a little circle and we have to get a little close so that I can connect with your energy and and stuff like that. I could only find this half-filled candle, and we only really have this dirty old rug. It won't be the most fanciest tarot reading, but we've got the basics. A dark, quiet, intimate room lit by only a small candle to cleanse our energies, and, of course, the cards. I haven't really done anything like this before, but you can't mess up your first time, right? Well, what do you want to see? I can look into your future, money, relationship stuff. I'm not too sure. What do you think? Do you have anything that weighs heavy on your heart right now? I suppose it would be easiest to do the future one. It's quite basic, and it's probably the most used, maybe? I don't know. Because that's what people fear the most, you know? It's the general future. Might be a bit broad, but it'll be good if you want direction. I don't know exactly how much you'll take out of it though, so whatever. Time to shuffle the cards. I practiced this a bit before, just playing with normal cards, so you don't mind if I show off a little, right? What if I do this? Well, while I shuffle these cards, why don't I tell you a couple fun facts, Just some stuff I dug up on the internet during my deep dive. Let me think. Did you know that the practice of divination using cards is actually called cartomancy? Well, that's the technical term at least. You know, you can use the standard 52 deck if you want, but it's just a lot more fun if you use the tarot deck, I think. You know, the one with the arcanas, the 22 major ones, and the 56 lesser arcanas. Don't laugh. Don't laugh if I mess up, alright? I'm still learning here as well, you know? Hey, your eyes are getting pretty hazy. Don't tell me you're already falling asleep. You do look pretty cute though. Nothing? I'm just making sure you're paying attention. I'm just making sure you're paying attention, you know? And I need you to be awake to look into your future and stuff, you know? There, that should be enough. Are you awake? Don't worry, we'll be done soon. Alrighty then. This first card means your past. Whatever it is, I'm going to have to read it to you and interpret it to you. Maybe there's something that you can see but I can't. Of course, this is your past we're talking about, so I don't know everything. Just chime in if something connects with you, okay? Now, your first card of the night is the Four of Wands. From what I remember, this card was supposed to represent home and stability. You see the Four of Wands holding up the canopy, right? And there's a couple underneath it dancing. I believe it's supposed to represent a stable home environment, like moving into a new home or finally paying off a mortgage. I suppose it could also mean marriage, but that doesn't make too much sense, I think. Anyway, that does make sense since we did just move in together in our new apartment here, and there's only two of us, so I suppose those two figures could mean that they're us, and the four sticks with the canopy on top means our new apartment together. That's a good start. That's a good start, isn't it? It's a little suspiciously accurate, but I swear I shuffled these cards real good. Now, this second card represents your present. Whatever you're feeling now or experiencing, or I suppose it could also mean the very, very near past, I suppose. This card is the Ace of Cups. This is getting spicy. I believe this means that you might be experiencing some new feelings. Good feelings, I'm pretty sure. Applying this to your present, you're single, right? So, you must be having a little crush on someone then. I'm kidding. It's not like this stuff is real. Unless you do have a crush on someone. Alright, I'll stop teasing. Well, other than the lovey-dovey stuff, I suppose I believe that this means that you should open up your heart. What this card is trying to tell you is that you have to listen to yourself and be true to yourself. That kind of stuff, you know? So, in the context of your present self, I suppose it must be telling you that your heart is trying to tell you something. Not physically, I think, but maybe that there's something that you really, really, really want, or someone that you really, really, really want to tell something, you know? I'm good at this, huh? I knew it. I knew that all the memorizing of all this stuff is worth it. I could yap about tarot cards, like, off by heart by now, you know? Are you proud of me? I can tell by the look in your eyes that you're really impressed, right? Well, anyway, your third card here represents your future. Just a general future, I suppose. Somewhere far or somewhere near, I'm not too sure, but I'll try my best to read it anyways. This third card here is the Lover's Arcana. Whoa! If this card is to represent your future, then perhaps that little crush of yours will come true. Come on, no need to get all flustered. I hardly think this stuff is accurate anyways, so... Lovers, obviously, means partnership and romance and stuff like that, but it also means choices. So perhaps what this card is trying to tell you is that you should choose carefully now. Perhaps what will allow you to gain love, or happiness even. Maybe in the future, you'll get a big choice regarding love. Maybe it's a difficult choice. From what I read from the Ace of Cups, it's clearly telling you that you should choose love or whatever feelings. Just listen to whatever your heart is trying to tell you. This one was a bit difficult, but oh well. You can interpret my interpretation whatever you want. You know, it's your future, I guess. Anyway, these next cards will be what you should focus on and not focus on to get closer to your desired future. So this fourth card is what you should focus on to achieve your goal. And it's the Ace of Wands. Oh, I believe this card means energy, and the castle behind it means the opportunities ahead. The main message of the card is basically trying to tell you that whenever an opportunity presents itself, you should focus on what your tummy tells you, and you should go for it. I think what this card is trying to tell you, and what the other cards are trying to tell you, is that if you want the future to happen, then you'll have to take risks. And in the context of the other cards, I'm sure in your future, you'll get a big choice. A big life-changing choice. But, of course, no stress on that right now. It's just a warning. It's a lot to think about. Well, let's see what this 5th card has to say, huh? This is what you should not focus on to achieve your future. Death reversed. Oh no, it's okay. Death isn't what it normally means in tarot. Basically, it just means change. Like, one phase of your life is ending and another is starting, and the cycle of life, that kind of stuff. It's a lot more positive than people make it out to be. And so, but if it's death reversed, then it means that you're resisting change. Perhaps you've been procrastinating or holding on too tight to the past. The more of the card is to heed its warning and not to have any regrets, So, in regards to your future, then death means that perhaps you fear change right now. Maybe you've been procrastinating or perhaps overthinking a lot. This card is trying to tell you that you should both embrace change and also that you should trust your gut in choosing the right quote-unquote actions. Do you get what they mean? The cards, I mean. You see how people can be interested in this kind of stuff, right? I think it's because the cards give a little bit of guidance in the chaos of life. I think. Overall, it seems that the tarot is pushing you to take risks in the future, But of course, I don't want you to jump off any cliffs. But maybe you've been second-guessing yourself, And it's only a general future divination, so it can only give you a little tiny bit of guidance. I thought that the tarots are pretty neat. Not only just like the arcana and stuff, but also like the numbered cards too. It's neat how flexible and applicable they are. The meaning of the cards are in people's lives. Some people think that they're accurate. I suppose it depends on the cards and how people view them, of course, but you think they're accurate? Aha! That's good then. That means that all my researching and studying and spending time in my room, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. You have been a very, very, very good test subject, Very good, very good. Give me your hand. If you don't mind, I want to take a look at something. You're, quite big. Your hands, I mean. These lines here. Just, let me feel your hands for a little bit. And do you want to know what these lines here mean? Well, then let me impress you in another way. Not only have I spent an embarrassing amount of time playing with tarot cards, but also I know all about palm reading and its lore, I've only practiced on my own hand, of course, but surely you'll lend me a hand. You'll let me do that, right? For real? Can I grab your hands now? I'm just gonna feel your hands for a little bit. Alright? Something about your energy or Sharingan or whatever. I'm just gonna run my fingers on these handfold things. I believe that their technical term is called palm creases, if you didn't know. Of course, I have to feel up your hands. They're an integral part of the process, you know? Plus, you feel warm and nice, and your hands are soft. Well, well, did you know that the modern version of palm reading, the one that most people follow today, was actually made in the 1980s in London? Yeah, apparently they systemized it or whatever so that people couldn't abuse the art form. But I suppose people do still make their homebrew iterations, their rules, so it's not too different from the ancient practices. But speaking of palm reading, it likely originated in India. Did you know? As like a Hindu practice. Pretty sure. Likely moving to China, then later to London to trade and stuff. I think it's neat. It's how such a simple method to get to know someone could spread so far and wide, you know? Well, that's enough of me yapping to you. Do you want to know what the hand of fate has in store for you? Let me give you a little tour around your hand then. This line here is your lifeline. This one, big arching one connected to your thumb. Technically, it doesn't really mean how long you'll live, per se, although I suppose I can see why people would desperately want to know that kind of information. But it's more like the quality of life you're going to lead as your passions. Like for example, having a long, prominent line would probably mean that you're a reliable person with nice, strong genes. And look at your line here. Your line is pretty long and prominent, I suppose. Then you'll have some pretty strong genes you get passed down to me. I mean, if you could, let's just move on. This line here, between your pointer and your thumb, goes all the way to the center of your palm. This one is called the headline. This is supposed to represent how well you receive information or knowledge, how you communicate with others, and your drive for growth. Like, see in your headline here, it has a pretty strong curve to it. Likelihood is you lean into more creative or artsy desires. But if you were here with a straight headline, then I suppose you'd lean into more logical or practical hobbies. The length of your headline is also supposed to dictate how important these achievements are for you, you know? And your headline here stops right in the middle of your hand. So I suppose it's a good balance. You balance your achievements and you hold them quite in a high regard, I think. I mean, now moving up a little bit, we have your heart line. This line is supposed to go across the base of your pointer to the middle finger, representing your heart, of course. Basically, your physical and emotional and romantical state. Depending on where this line ends and how curvy it is, it dictates how these states are. Looky here, your line 1, your 1 ends right around your middle finger. And I suppose it does have quite a short curve to me, I think. I don't know. I believe that this means that you're pretty quiet about your love life. Perhaps you hide a lot of your crushes. I'm joking. But whether it's curved or not, I think I remember it says that a person would passionately love their partner. Moving down to the bottom of the palm, this is the fate line. Depending on how prominent it is when your hand is unfolded, it's supposed to represent how controlled you are by your destiny. Basically, how clear the path forward to you is. The clearer the line, the less distractions and divergent paths the person has to take, and vice versa, of course. But to be clear, just because a person has a faded fate line doesn't mean that they won't get to their destination, of course, you know? I suppose it just means that it'll be a bit harder to get there, you know? Either way, your fate line here seems to be around in the middle, I think. Meaning that you're probably still searching for what you want to do. I think, meaning that you're maybe there's a little pull or push in some directions, but I do hope that there's some comfort in however much direction that you have. Next to that fate line is this little line here. This is the sun line, I believe. It dictates how successful you'll be in your life, depending on how clear and long it is, of course. But also, if your sun line is parallel to your fate line, it means that you'll be very, very successful with lots of reputation. But here, it doesn't seem too clear for me, but that doesn't mean anything bad, of course. It just means that you'll have to be a very hard worker, you know? But you should also be reminded that it's important to take lots of breaks and ensure lots of rests so that you can be strong and healthy, you know? I suppose we ran out of lines. Well, of course there are more lines, but these are the only ones I've memorized. There are more lines, I'm pretty sure, but I don't really know what they mean. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I suppose I should let go of your hand now, huh? Well, do you want to try one more thing? I do want to try scrying something. Basically, it means that, you look into a reflective surface and try to get insight from what you see in it. Now I could get a bowl of water or something, but I want to try something a little bit more special. Do you mind if I scry your eyes? I suppose it does sound a little scary, huh? But it's more like me looking into your eyes for a little bit and trying to see if I can find something. Do you think that'd be nice? No, I'm not blushing. It's just, I suppose, it's a little flustering since it's my first time. But I suppose we just have to lock eyes for a second, and I'm gonna have to discern something, I think. I'm not too sure. I'm not red. I'm not red. Like I said, it's a little flustering, locking eyes with you, but, from your eyes' bluish, brownish, greenish color, I think I can sense a force that's compelling me to look in deeper. Something that tells me that you're doing the right thing, and it feels kind of nice. Your pupils look quite dilated too. Maybe there's something deeper in that, I think, but I'm not quite certain in that yet. Why are you getting closer to me? I don't think you have to put my face against yours for it to work. Your breath is practically mixing with mine. It's quite scary when you stare down at me like that. Oh. You kissed me. The tarots told you. Risks, crushes, you're telling me those things were accurate? But I didn't see any of the signs. Oh, Oh goodness me. I must be an awful fortune teller. I I suppose it's good that you enjoyed it too. I mean, it did feel kind of nice when you gave me 100% of your attention to me and me only. Wait, does that mean that you've been holding a crush on me this whole time? Oh, oh man. I suppose I've been holding feelings for you too. And it's a little hard to explain, but I think you're cool. I think you're really, really, really cool. So kind and so caring, and you've been the best roommate ever, you know. I'm happy I get to share a space with someone as cool as you. And that's why I've been trying to impress you. You know, the spiky collars, the black eyeliner. I've just been thinking, what would a cool person like you wear to get your attention? Huh? You think I'm cool? Oh, wow. I don't, I don't, I didn't think something like that would be so flustering. I think you're cool too. Really cool. I guess the night is still pretty young, and we're alone in your room, lit by only a candlelight, so I wouldn't mind if I felt more than just your hands. Hello? It has been quite a while, hasn't it? You have grown so much since the last time I saw you, and I'm happy to get to see you again. As you know, I've been out fishing for a little while, and I've had a good break, but now I'm back and ready to flex my creative muscles again. I suppose that the roadmap for the future content is it's gonna be experimental and more quality over quantity. That's the aim that I'm going for. And particularly in this video, I wanted to spend more time drawing and trying to get more visuals, trying to get it more visually interesting. So I hope that you enjoyed this little leap in my style. I won't encourage you to follow my social medias like Patreon or Twitter, or Discord or whatever, but because in truth, I don't really want to do any social media managing right now, but if you want, everything would be in my link tree below. Anyways, I do hope that you have an amazing 2026, and cheers to many, 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 many more videos of little old me.